welcome back to Testing Basics and thank you for watching. Today we're going to be doing coats, and I did wool coats, sorry the dishwasher's beeping. I did wool coats last winter, and generally I find that the higher the wool percentage in a coat, the better and longer it's going to last. This time these don't all have wool in them, but they all look like wool coats, if that makes sense. Because I wanted to test out the actual difference in how they felt, like how warm they would be if it didn't really have a high wool percentage, which tends to make things more expensive as well. So as always, I've got 5 here from high street to high end. We're going to start with the most affordable one, which is Topshop. This was actually, is Topshop the most affordable one? Yes. This was sent to me. I haven't paid for this. I bought this with a voucher as part of that ongoing work that I have with Topshop. It was £79. It is 64% acrylic and 36% polyamide. Polyamide? I never know. I actually showed you this in a previous video. It's like a blue, very like, really just feel like wool, if I'm honest. I thought it was a wool coat. So it's this shade of blue, and it's got these puff sleeves, like a drop shoulder sleeve, and a really big silver button, which I really, really like. I've avoided like the plague coats that have those awful poppers on them, which I really, really dislike. Thankfully, it seems to be less of a thing this winter. Like last winter, it was really hard to find a high street coat that didn't have that. Whereas there's a lot more coats without them, which I'm really thankful for because I think it cheapens coats massively. And I really like this big silver button. I think it looks great. I had this in a size UK 8. Definitely, it's still big enough to fit big knits under, so it's quite oversized. So I recommend going true to size. Sometimes I size up in coats to make room for big knitwear, but you don't need to do that with this. And yeah, it's very heavy. Like this is hurting my arm. It's all fully lined on the inside. It's an interesting shape, definitely. Maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but I kind of like, there's something really not like, I think there's something really ugly about it. I don't know what it is, but it makes me really like it. So that was Topshop at £79. The weekend that this is going up, this is like Black Friday weekend or Cyber Monday, whatever day we're on to with this mad weekend. So some of these things might have discounts on them. I'll leave the codes, if there are any, to these retailers along in the description box basically, because you might be able to get some money off some of these. Next up from there we have ASOS. Wouldn't expect ASOS to be more expensive than Topshop most of the time, but here we are. This one was £85. Gosh, it's got a lot in it. It's 48% polyester, 36% acrylic, 14% wool and 2% nylon. Has this print check which completely drew me to it. It's really long in the length. Size wise, again, I've got a size UK 8. Just gonna put this out there. I would say if you were under, I'm about 5'8". If you were under 5'4", maybe, I think this is gonna be absolutely drowning. Not in a cool oversized way, but in a this looks too big way. But now I've said that, I'm pretty sure they have a petite option in this coat. I think that they do. If they do, I'm going to link it because I'm sure I saw a petite one. So I'll link it if there is one, but if there isn't, then I think this is generally a taller person's coat because there's a lot of fabric to it. It's an oversized fit and it's very long. I really like the print on it. Not my favourite shade of camel, I would say, but the print sort of distracts from that a little bit. Again, it's completely fully lined, it's really heavy, it's hurting my arm to hold it like this, and feels very much like wool. To feel these comparatively, almost identical. If anything, this is a tiny bit softer, but they really do feel incredibly similar. So that was ASOS at £85. I think that's quite expensive for ASOS as well. One up from there, we have a brand which I'm very excited to be sharing. No, we don't. That's coming up. No, one up from there we have And the Stories, a brand I feature very regularly because I'm a huge fan. This is £165, this one. Again, it's got a lot of different fabrics in it. 65% wool, 21% polyamide, 14% polyester, 10% acrylic, 6% cotton, 6% viscose. I feel like that adds up to more than 100 if I'm honest. There's so many in there. It is this really gorgeous long coat. I have this one in a size 38, which is actually a 10. Probably could have got away with an 8. I bought it in store and I don't think they have an 8. I think that's why I have got the 10. I would definitely say go true to size because it's really oversized. But equally, it's got a really good hold. It's got a better fit to it than the ASOS one, I think, in that it can hold an oversized shape more and still look well tailored rather than just looking like it's drowning you. So you could go one size up if you wanted to. I have done here. Again, completely fully lined. I absolutely love the colour of this, and this is a great option if you've already got a black coat and know you wear it loads, you still love it from previous seasons, but want to introduce something that you know you're going to wear as much but might feel a little bit different. Something like this with like a grey herringbone print or something is a really good way to do that, especially if you wear a lot of all black. It's just going to break it up that tiny bit. I really like this. Again, it is very, very, very long though, so maybe not one for people who are on the smaller side, because it definitely, I mean, it goes to like just above my ankles on me, and as I said, I'm 5'8", so that was Under the Stories, £165. And then the brand that I have here that I'm excited to be sharing is EVERLANE. Now, they sent me this, so I actually have 2 items I haven't paid for in this video, which normally I leave it, normally I don't let it be more than 1, if any. But I think because of the time of year, I've been sent a lot of coats recently, so I hope you guys don't mind. This one's EVERLANE. They're an American brand, and you guys ask me a lot about featuring them because they're a brand that are really transparent about their supply chain. They have information about which factory it's been made in, so it's definitely being more transparent about the ethics behind the creation of the clothes. They don't ship, they're shipping to the UK for a period of time. I'm going to leave information in the description box because I've forgotten it right now. But normally they don't ship to the UK, which is why I haven't been able to feature this before. Hopefully, if they're like dipping their toes into shipping to the UK, they're going to make it a permanent thing later down the line, because it's a really, really, really good brand. They have really great things, beautiful imagery, lots of good basics and things like that. And I know those of you who are watching in America, lots of you have requested that I review this brand. So I was very excited when they got in touch and said, did I want anything? And thought, yes, I do, and for testing basics. So I've gone with this coat. It's a US size 4, which is a UK size 8. Fabric wise, this is, bloody hell, I've got too many little things going on here. It is 60% wool, 25% nylon, 8% polyester, 6% acrylic, 1% rayon. Now, we're kind of like increasing the wool percentages as we go up in price here as well a little bit, which is interesting. This is $225, which at the moment roughly converts to £170. It is a camel coat with 3 buttons down the front. It's a cocoon shape, a little bit shorter. So this is going to be more versatile for people of different heights. I would say the Topshop one will work for every height as well. It's just the ASOS and Under the Stories, which are long. This would work for all heights. This would be really flattering. And lots of different body types as well. It's a really heavy, really nice structured wool. Feels very stiff. This feels similar to the Under the Stories one in its stiffness. I would say that these aren't as soft as the other two. Maybe the wool percentage makes them feel less soft in some ways, but it just gives it a certain structure, which is really, really nice as well. Initially, I really didn't like this shade of camel when I opened this. However, when I've been styling it and wearing it and throwing it on, that's grown on me a little bit, and I feel less about it. It's quite yellowy, and I tend to prefer a creamier camel shade. But this still, it has, as I said, it has grown on me. And yeah, it's got nice detailing like the felt grey underside to the collar and things like that. Fully lined once again. So yeah, I'm really excited to review this brand a little bit more, and hopefully they'll start shipping to the UK all the time. That was EVERLANE, $225, roughly £170. So now for the last one, we're taking a huge jump up to what was a huge investment purchase for me, and one that I've been wanting to make for a long time. And that was for a cashmere coat. So this is 60% wool, no it's not, this is 70% wool and 30% cashmere. Of course you can get ones with like a higher cashmere percentage. You can get, there's like one I've swooned over in Celine for a lifetime, which is 100% cashmere, and it's literally about £5,500. I mean, they get so expensive, especially because they tend to be done by like the really premium designer brands as well. This one's from Joseph. It was still an eye-watering price tag of £995. It's almost like a trench style actually, in the way that it has this vent at the back. Thank you everybody who told me what the right term was for this. And the belt around it as well. And it's in this very risky shade. Not going to really say that I recommend going and buying something this expensive and choosing to get it in off-white, unless you really like to live life on the edge. But I clearly do, and it just makes it look so stand out. They do it in, I think they do it in navy definitely, and possibly black. but I ended up going for this because it just looks so chic and so beautiful and so expensive and so luxurious, and part of that comes down to the colour, and I thought maybe that will mean I'll save it for best and not do what I always end up doing and throwing it on to nip to the gym or something stupid. So yeah, it's in a risky shade. I think it's personal preference on whether or not you would dare to go for it. So this is completely unlined, which I would normally associate with being a bad thing, but it definitely plays into how it just hangs and falls off the body. It has some really nice detailing like the tortoiseshell buttons on the cuffs here, but overall is an incredibly minimal piece, which I really like. It's got a nice vent in the back. I'm going to talk about vents, or have spoken about vents as I've been filming this, because the ASOS one doesn't have a vent in the back, and a long coat needs a vent in the back basically. So yeah, this I got in a size 38, so I got this in a size 10 and it fits me perfectly, really perfectly. So maybe size up, actually I think an 8 would have been a bit tight for me, so size up in this. And yeah, that was Joseph, £995, one of like the most expensive items I've bought in a long time. So yeah, that's everything. I've been wearing these coats a lot. You're going to see them 5 ways here, but I have worn each of these more than once throughout this time, so I have a good review coming at the end for them all as well. So into the next bit. Hey guys, I'm on the Topshop coat today. I've just been wearing it with my Celine shoes, BDG black jeans, jumper from Lara Doot, and I've also had my new Loewe Bag hammock because it matches the shoes really well. This coat I really liked. It was had been at like an event today, and they put it away in a locker and it was all scrunched up, and it's come out still looking not creased and everything. It's been really nice and warm, it's been comfortable. These haven't been annoying or anything, it's just been really nice to wear. I really like how it looks. Just good to pair with a simple outfit but make it feel a bit more interesting. So I'm really pleased with it. It's been nice and warm as well, it's kept me warm. I actually like how it looks done up too, which I don't like it cinched, like too much shape, but with just the one button done up, I quite like how it looks. Normally I don't like how coats look buttoned up, so it's nice to have the extra option with this one. Hi guys, I'm on the ASOS coat today, just with some Converse BDD jeans and extremely old knit from COS. I really like the print of this, really like the print of it, and I like the length of it, and I think it has a nice cone shape pants off the shoulder, but it's completely let down by the fact it doesn't have a vent at the back. So when you're walking, if you do this, it kind of feels really caught up around your back. And I had my Loewe Bag hammock bag, which I wore cross body, which means you're always like wrapped around a little bit more, and it just doesn't flow. Whenever I caught sight of myself, the reflection of myself in windows and things, it just completely ruins the flow of the coat, especially when it's this long. So it's such a shame, because it was just the smallest detail I think would have made it so much nicer than it is. Because as I said, I do really like the print of it. It's been really warm. I've had it just scrunched up next to me on a sofa while I've been working in a cafe, and it's not creased or anything like that, so I do have good things to say about it, but I'm really disappointed by the lack of a vent at the back. I think it would have just really changed the way it fits and everything. Hi guys, I've had on the EVERLANE coat today and gym clothes because I haven't been to the gym. I'm going to pop an outfit, or a photo here of an outfit I wore with it the other day, because when I'm filming Testing Basics I do try and nip out in the items as well sometimes, which is what I've done today. I really like this coat. Like the length of it, I think it's a really flattering length for everybody. The longer coats I really love, but I am very tall. Well, not very tall, I'm like 5'8". And I think for like the ASOS one, if you were like 5'5" even, it would be quite drowning. Whereas something like this is going to suit all heights a lot better. Like the ASOS one, it isn't vented, but it really doesn't matter in the same way when it's this length. It doesn't feel like the shape's compromised. It doesn't crease or anything like that at all. Initially, I wasn't massively keen on how yellow the camel is, but I haven't found it looks bad in photos. Like when I've looked back at photos I've had with this, it's actually looked quite nice. So I don't really have anything negative to say about it at all. I really like the shape of it, like the fit of it. I think it's one of those pieces that would be really easy just to wear all the time. A lot more low maintenance than the longer ones, as I've said, just one that I can pick up and throw on and therefore get a lot of wear out of as well. Hi guys, I've had on the End of the Stories coat today. Excuse the mess everywhere. Of 2 girls in a hotel room always ends up being messy. And this one's like similar in length to the ASOS one. I just had it on with a Weekday top and jeans, my Celine Loafers. And if I had to pick between this one and the ASOS one, I'd definitely choose this one. It does feel more expensive. I think the cut of it's a little bit nicer, so it looks way better, a lot more flattering. It's not the warmest though out of all of them. Like the Topshop one I think was a little bit warmer. This is probably similar warmth to the ASOS one, definitely not as warm as the EVERLANE one. Which is strange because you feel like you've got a lot of fabric, which at the same time also doesn't make it really comfortable and easy to wear in the same way as the EVERLANE one would be. So I do like it a lot though. The colour I especially like. I think it, like going for a grey coat over a black coat is always a good idea to break things up a little bit in winter where it still is as easy to wear and everything like that. Yeah,
I agree.
I was just asking Lindsay if this coat looked expensive and she said yes.
It's very beautiful.
So it's been extremely warm to say it's completely unlined, and I think the fact it's unlined helps with the way it hangs as well. And normally I would associate something not being lined with being poor quality, but I don't know if it's because when it's cashmere it would compromise the way that it hangs, because this just hangs in a certain way. It's, yeah, as I said, it's insanely warm, hands down the warmest out of all of them. Really just super classic and chic. Obviously high maintenance and tense to wear because it's cream. That would be, they do it in a dark navy, possibly a black as well, so it'd be completely personal preference on how brave you're feeling / how stupid you're feeling about whether or not you want to risk life and limb by spending this much money on a cream coat like I have done. But then the colour I think makes it really stand out and just makes it seem super chic and really sophisticated feeling. So I absolutely love it. I know personally I spent a huge amount of money on it, that I will wear it for years and years to come. That being said, you don't have to go and spend this much on it because I do really like the EVERLANE one especially. I still think it looks expensive, but there is something extra special about this compared to the others. Okay, final bit. Let's run through this nice and quickly. Last place is going to be the ASOS one. I think it's so massively compromised by the lack of vent, and I think at £89 it's still a lot of money. Like it's still near the £100 mark, which is a lot. It's a lot for ASOS as well, and it doesn't look like a £100 coat at all. I actually think it kind of looks cheap, which is such a shame because I really do like the print on it, and I think it's a really easy print to wear. The colour scheme in it's a really good one that will fit into most neutral wardrobes really well. It's just so let down by the tailoring of it, which cheapens it so much, and it is a shame because, as I say, I'm really into the print, and I was hoping that this was going to be like one of those really strong high street finds, like my End of the Stories coat from last winter, which I absolutely adore still. So yeah, that's last place, which is a real bloody shame because I wanted to love that one. In the next spot, this is almost going to go in reverse price order. I'm going to put the Topshop one in the next spot, and I do really like this coat. I just really like the other three, and it's probably my least favourite, and it's partly through the choice is a little bit different for me. So for my personal style, I know I would end up wearing this a lot less than some of the other ones. I think it's feels a lot and looks a lot more expensive than the ASOS one, to say it's actually coming in at a lower price point. And I think if you wanted a coat that was a bit different, a bit of a different colour, then this would be a really good option because it does have a great fit to it. The fabric feels really nice. I like the way it hangs on the body. It was nice and warm to wear. I think it just doesn't fit in with my personal style as much as the others do. That being said, this was £79, I believe, which is still a lot of money. But if I got enough wear out of this one season, but then didn't end up wearing it next season, I wouldn't hate it as much as, say, a £200 coat that you do that with, where you'd be like, that's such a waste. So I guess it's a good price point for introducing something new and a bit different into your wardrobe. But going forward, I just don't think I'm going to wear it as much as the others. But it definitely feels and looks more expensive than the ASOS one, despite being a little bit cheaper. In third place, which one? I know what my winner is. I know I'm torn between the next two. They're almost even for me, but I'm gonna put the End of the Stories one next. Am I? Okay, there's no reason for these. I like these completely equally. They're really different. The EVERLANE one I think is going to be better on different body types and heights. As I said at the beginning, this is definitely more of a tall girl coat. I think that this design on this really shows what the ASOS lacks, mostly just in the vent through the back, but the way that good tailoring really is absolutely vital when you're going for something so oversized, so that it just doesn't completely drown you and cheapen the whole outfit and everything like that. I think the colour of this is absolutely great. Prefer the colour of this and this colour and this print than this camel shade. Even though camel's super versatile, this looks bloody good with denim, really good as a winter coat, really good, just absolutely love the colour. Also is available in a blazer, I saw the other day, dangerous, now I want that. But yeah, I just think this is a really stylish coat, really good, one you would have forever and ever and ever, and feels worth the higher price point. I personally think it looks 10 times more expensive than the ASOS one, just through the cut, the way it hangs on the body, the print definitely helps as well, the colour helps as well. So yeah, absolutely loving that one. And this one, I mean, points to Everlane for what the brand ethics are as well. It's what Arquette are doing at the moment too, which is also really good. So they have to get brownie points for that. And, oh, someone's drilling, sorry. And I think the shape of this is just so good. It's a little bit different. That cocoon shape I think is really, really easy to wear. This is the kind of coat that you can 100% throw on with absolutely everything. Coats this length are more low maintenance, I find, to wear than longer coats, which seem like you've got to commit to them a lot with your outfit because they are just, the whole outfit is overtaken by that coat completely. So something like this, if you're after a thrower honor that you can wear every day and feel stylish, I think this is a really, really good option for that. Again, as I said, it's warm, it's comfy, it's got great structure to it. It's a really, 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 really good coat, and to say they're coming in at a similar price point at And Other Stories, but have this ethical background, fingers crossed they're going to ship to the UK permanently at some point, let's all pray. It's a brand that I'm interested in trying more and more from, is what I would say, and I think it's absolutely worth the price point that they have on them. This leaves me in first place with the Joseph coat, and I cannot tell you how happy I am that this is coming first place. I normally always root for the underdog in these videos, like I want to show you guys that you can get the best thing on the high street and you don't have to spend a fortune. But for me, this is one of those pieces that I've wanted to invest in a really long time, and knew like this winter would be the time that I treated myself to a really beautiful, expensive coat with cashmere in it. And I have no regrets for having spent such a huge sum of money on a single item, which means it has to come in first place. Like I have two coats that I really, really love here, but still this one trumps them all in my mind. This is beautiful. Every time I've worn this, it's just felt so chic, so elegant. I've got loads of photos that I took while I was in New York, and I wore some of the coats, and I'm going to leave the link to the blog post there, because when I was looking back on the photos, the way this hangs as compared to the And Other Stories one, which is the other one I wore a lot, the way it hangs on the body and looks with an outfit, they just do not compare. It has something about it. I think it looks so expensive. It's so classic. The colour, of course, as I said, is risky. This is probably not going to end well for me, if I'm honest. I'm quite a clumsy person, but it just added to it so much I couldn't resist the colour because it looks great. It looks great with the things that I like to wear every single day. It is so unbelievably warm. New York was bitterly cold, and this was I had this and a shearling leather jacket, and this was as warm as the shearling leather jacket. It just over a knit. It must be the cashmere in it, because like on the first day I wore it with a cashmere jumper, and that was the warmest I was the whole time that I was there. It's just amazing, the cut of the lapels, the fact it doesn't have any buttons. I even like how it looks wrapped over and tied up, which I don't normally like how coats look done up at all, but with this one I love it just because the shape works so much. So as you can see, I'm a very happy bunny with this coat, which is the best feeling when you've spent and invested such a lot of money in something. And I really feel like it is going to be an investment in the sense that I'll have this for years and years and wear it for years and years. So that one is in first place, and generally I would recommend that if it's within your price point, if it's something you've been thinking about, go and have a shop around for some cashmere coats, because I think it's the cashmere in this that makes it feel and look so special. So definitely have a look around. Other brands that have great ones are like Max Mara, Celine, as I said, if your budget can go up that far, I wish mine could, because they do some incredibly beautiful ones. But yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. We're coming up to a funny time of year for testing basics because all the bloody sales are going on, which is great for getting a bargain but not good for stock levels, and I hate featuring things that are then sold out by the time that I manage to film through this video and get it up. So I think we're going to do a knitwear one next, and let's all pray I manage to pick out ones that then don't sell out before I manage to get the video live, because that is what tends to happen around this time of year. Anyway, thank you so much for watching as always. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.